Hi Gemini, welcome to Channel Rockaritaville. I'm El Rock, your hostess, and we are here to do your general timeless weekly energy reading for the week ahead for the sun, moon, and rising sign of Gemini. As always, this is a general reading, so if the story that I pull out today isn't vibing with you, maybe check out your moon and rising sign on the channel because there might be something there for you as well. And then finally, I want to thank all of my new subscribers, my returning subscribers, and all of you popping into the channel just to check it out. Thank you so much for being here. Your likes, your shares, your subscribes, and your comments all help the channel grow. So thank you for hanging out at Rockaritaville. So with all of that said, let's check out the incoming energies for the week ahead for Gemini. Gemini, I'm starting with a mixed deck called the Illustrated Herbiary and Bestiary decks. And they are a mix of plant and animal cards. So the frequency, the plant and animal medicine. So we're going to pull out those. We're going to find out your most influential energy for the week ahead. And then we'll clarify with tarot and round it out with the Power of Surrender deck. So most influential energies, please, for the week ahead for Gemini. Most influential energies for the week ahead for Gemini. The first one, let's see what that is. Start fresh, chickweed. So Gemini, it looks like you have some kind of a do-over this week. Interesting, chickweed. What else do we have for Gemini for the week ahead, please? Fresh starts. Gemini, I'm trying to remember what your reading was last week. Were you the reading that got all the clearing cards? I think you might have been. This is a good way to start the week with fresh start with chickweed, and we have plantain here, rewild, revisiting your past. So with your fresh start, what the medicine of plantain speaks to is revisiting your past, Gemini, and all the places you've been in the map of your life, and picking all of the things out of it that you loved the most to bring forward. So in the week ahead, while you're having a fresh start, you're revisiting the past in terms of picking those things about your life that you love. You were clearing. God, what was your reading last week? I can't remember. I feel like this is kind of a takeoff from that, though. All right. Stand up for yourself, spotted skunk. Interesting. So you're being invited to stick up for yourself with something. Setting boundaries in the week ahead about your fresh start. Whenever there's a fresh start, Gemini, that always means that we're invited to revisit the things in our life that didn't work. So while you're looking at the things that did work and bringing those forward, you're also looking at the places on your map where you've been, and without getting emotionally involved or triggered by it, you also recognize what you don't want in your life. And when you recognize the things that you don't want, that means people, places, things, situations. Take, for instance, you've been babysitting your neighbor's kid for the last year, and you want to start a new project that requires that time back. And so maybe that's something on your map that you're leaving in the past, so you can bring this fresh start with chickweed forward for yourself. And that does mean that spotted skunk comes in here to tell you that you do need to stand up for yourself. Now, the medicine of spotted skunk is the fact that when skunk stands up for itself, it gives warning first. At first it gives, does a little handstand and lets you know, hey, you better stop. And so Gemini, I feel like you're giving fair warning in terms of what you're standing up for in the week ahead, what's obviously something that's important to you. And then when, skunk's little handstand doesn't work, then that's when the odor comes out. That's when skunk sprays, right? And the thing is you've been sprayed, you've been, put on the defense, right? Or skunk was put on the defense and had to defend itself. And while you might be highly inconvenienced, or somebody might be highly inconvenienced by what it smells like for you to stand up for yourself, it's nonetheless necessary for you to do this, and it's only temporary. So it's not like you're a poisonous snake giving a venomous blow that's going to kill the relationship or kill the situation. Rather, you're refining it and defining it in new ways. And whether you need to do a handstand in the week ahead, which is a show of defense, or you need to full out defend yourself with, some malodorous moments with a skunk here, then you absolutely are being guided to do that. And then the last card that popped out was Sweet Violet, Inner Sanctum. So with this fresh start, you are spending time, going back and looking at those jewels and looking at the jewels that you have in the future, finding out what's precious for you and bringing those things forward. So at the bottom of the deck, yep, Gemini, tough love. We've got lavender here. So in terms of, spotted skunk and lavender are giving you a similar message. You are going to be standing up for yourself in the week ahead. You're going to be looking at your past and deciding what to leave behind. You're going to be looking at your past and deciding what to bring forward with this fresh start with chickweed. You're heavily examining things. So do you see this magnified looking glass? And then you've got this jewel here in a locket. Oh, it's not a jewel, it's a flower. That's Sweet Violet right there. So violet and chickweed are, you're examining things very, very closely. And I think that you are also being guided spiritually, astrologically, with all the stars here and all of the connections there. You're really looking at how things are connected and, what's coming forward. And you are having to maintain some tough love around that. And sometimes tough love comes in the form of standing up for yourself. More often than not, it does with the medicine of lavender. So can I get some more cards for do we have eyes on the cards? Let's see here. Let's do a little. Can you see chickweed? Yep, you can. Alrighty. Can you tell me more about the fresh start, why chickweed is here for Gemini in the week ahead, please? Tell me more about chickweed and fresh start. 2 cards, please. What is this fresh start for Gemini? What is this fresh start for Gemini, please? Ooh, Gemmy. The Sun card, illumination. Nice. And then the Princess of Cups, dreamy. Yep, you're manifesting. Awesome. Okay, bottom of the deck is the Nine of Swords. That's cruelty. That is being in the mind space and, something's got you here. I don't think this is self-cruelty. I think that this is whatever this tough love and standing up for yourself is. These are supporting energies. And one of the ways in which you can tell, so in the daylight hours, when we can kind of write everything off and justify things in our own mind, it's the nighttime hours when those things that sit in our subconscious as unresolved emerge. And it looks like you have had some kind of a heartbreak, whether it was intentional or not. And whatever it is, it's caused you to have some sleepless nights. It has hurt you. It broke your heart. I think you don't understand it. And so the first invitation here is, of course, always to try to ask questions and invite a conversation in. And yet, if this is an egregious behavior, you're absolutely being called to stand up for yourself in the week ahead. Now, we already know that, so let's talk about your fresh start here. Because your fresh start, again, do you remember when we talked about the examination here with Sweet Violet looking closely at these things? You've been fully illuminated, and the sun, which is really kind of the happiest card in the deck, not kind of, it is here to let you know that you do have this happy new fresh start for you. And with the Princess of Cups, you're being called into the dream and manifestation state, right? You're really dreamy about it. You're really happy. You're probably in the first stages or first steps. Perhaps you're seeing some fresh results. And whatever it is that you're potentially setting sort of these boundaries around in terms of looking at what you're taking forward and what you're leaving behind, this fresh start's here to help you do it. And dreaming about what you want. Remember, what you actually manifest is going to be so much greater than you could have created for yourself. And so, dream about it, feel about it, manifest it, work towards it, take action steps, do your dance with the universe. The universe is showing up with good fortune for you, Gemini. And what you need to do is be available to receive it. So in the vibrational frequency and in the consciousness of receiving. So tell me more about plantain. What is Gemini looking back at? The Two of Wands, a Genesis. When it came out in the sideways position, yeah, you're definitely manifesting here. You've got the Wizard. You have the power of creation on your side. You're looking back at the things that you've created in your life. Now, the thing is when we take a look around at our lives, we at some point must stop and realize that everything that we're surrounded with was created because of a choice and an action that we took. And you're really digging into what those things were. And if something is maybe not in alignment, but you still want it in your life, you're going through, the meditation process, the visioning process. You're bringing forward the feelings that you want to bring in your life and how those might manifest. Now, with Rewild and looking back in the past, you had a Two of Wands here that is in the upright position. It's your Genesis, right? It's that moment when everything happens. It's first contact. And, not everybody's always down with the idea. And when it's in the reverse position, that's destruction, right? So this person here on the bottom could have destructive behaviors. They could not be supportive of your dreams, your goals, and the things that you're working towards. So in this sideways position, it means both the energy of destruction and the energy of creation and genesis are present. And holding yourself in high regard and in high vibrational frequency in the week ahead, Gemini, is going to make you available to put this in the upright position, harness these powers of manifestation, because genesis and creation are basically the same thing, right? And start working towards these things that you want. I feel like you already have things in place and you're stabilizing those and bringing new things on board. Sort of like if you worked in IT and you were rolling out a feature on a website and then you find out that the feature's stabilized and then you roll out the next few features and so on. That's what I'm getting a sense of for you in terms of your life. Or maybe you work in IT. Nine of Cups, complete and total happiness. And this is, happiness alone. This is emotional happiness. This is, I've achieved everything that I wanted to achieve and I made it here. And we never make our journeys alone, Gemini. We always have supporting characters in our story, even if they're not the characters we thought that they were going to be. Like, don't the most random people show up to help you out, It's amazing how the universe just sends that in for you when you need it, right? It's pretty cool. So you definitely have a lot of happiness here. And what helps to usher and stabilize that happiness for you is the fact that you are willing to stand up for your beliefs, for what you want, setting boundaries, and being tough. Just because you love somebody, that does not give them, Gemini, permission to walk all over you and use the term love or the title that comes with it to manipulate and control you. That's not okay. That's not okay for anybody, Gemmy. And so when you have this tough love energy with stand up for yourself coming out here, I wonder if somebody's not using the fact that you're supposed to love them or they love you as a form of manipulation. It's an old adage, and it's true till the bitter end, no matter how much you don't want it to be. If you love something, set it free, right? And if you've got somebody in your world who's being controlling about your time, your energy, how you spend your money, that's a walk away. That's a boundary. That's not any of their business. Yeah, you've had a closure here. You've had an ending. You've had a 10 of Swords with the stand up for yourself. So good for you, Gemini, because that's the close of a cycle, right? And I see a lot of really positive energy here about what's coming in for you. But this energy of closure and this tough love and standing up for yourself is still in here. So I sense that it's probably past energy, but if it is current energy in the week ahead with this closure, which it very well could be, I feel like it's residual energy, not new energy. Because to be able to get to the 10 with a closure, tough love, and standing up for yourself, that means you've already got history with it. And that 9 of Swords came out on the bottom of the deck earlier too. So you're going through sort of the heartbreak and the pain of that Swords energy, that mind space, that pain that happens, and you've hit that closure space. You've hit the end of the cycle. And it was a painful one for you. So I think that's why you're being so mindful, excuse me, with plantain in the week ahead to, get your vibes back up and focus on the important things rather than the cycle that you've just closed out. Because if you were the clear energy last week, you had a lot of, the guidance was clear. And you've done it, right? This is evidencing that you've done that work, that you cleared that energy out, that you've brought in the sun energy, that you've brought in the investigative energy and the fresh start of the chickweed. You're holding strong in the Princess of Cups space with your dreams. You've got the Wizard out here with the power of creation. Wow. And the 6 of Cups, joy, just fell over this 10 of Swords. So whatever it is you're standing up for yourself for, your joy is a result of it. Now, this could be in an intimate relationship. This could be a friendship. The 6 of Cups speaks of emotional well-being, of sharing special time together. It can be somebody younger, definitely somebody from the past, somebody you have history with. But by closing this cycle out, you've made the space for that joy, man. That just felt like, bam, this is over. This is over. Here's what's falling on top of it. So that's what standing up for yourself gets you. It gets you that energy. It gets you the sun energy. It gets you your happiness and your joy, your illumination, your understanding of what your direction is, Gemini. Dang, baby, you are empowered in the week ahead. You aren't putting up with it anymore, whatever it is. Whether it be a job, a family member, a sibling, a child, a spouse, a domestic partner, whatever it is, you're standing up for it and you're putting boundaries in place, and it definitely brings in joy. Anything else want to come out for stand up for yourself, for skunky wonky? For a spotted skunk, anything else want to come out? I think we've got what we need for that, but let's just give it one more run through. Okay. Oh, yep. Dang, Gemini, that's awesome. Happiness popped out again. 9 of Cups. So, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that whatever it is that this plantain means for you, this look back, this self-defense, this really, let's just call it what it is. It's setting boundaries. That anytime you stand up for yourself, anytime there's tough love, Anytime somebody's crossed a line and you let them know that they've crossed the line, that can be really great communication if they're a good listener. So, whatever it is, you've transmuted this energy. You've brought something else forward for yourself, Gemini. And I think, like, like, give yourself a big pat on the back because that's awesome. So tell me more about Inner Sanctum and Sweet Violet. These cards need to be shuffled. Sweet Violet, please. A couple of cards for Inner Sanctum. Yep, the truth. Okay, so you're going within and you are understanding what your truth is. You're finding it, you're grabbing it, you're taking it, and you're going to speak about it. So going into your inner sanctum allows you again to stabilize these energies that you're bringing forth. The sun, the genesis of a new beginning, of standing up for yourself, the happiness. I mean, come on, man. You got happiness and joy here, both. 9 of Cups, 6 of Cups. That's full on emotional happiness. And it's because you're speaking your truth and you're verbalizing this and you're doing it in a way that isn't necessarily defensive, but rather in a way that gets the results and the outcomes that you're looking for, Gemini. Tell me more about the inner sanctum, which is interesting because with inner sanctum, I would have thought that this would have come out in silence. So you will be spending time in silence because when you're in inner sanctum, you are in meditation or prayer or a state of quietude. And that what that's doing is that's empowering you to speak. And with this energy of, boundaries here, you're going to speaking. So going within gives you the courage, the right words to be able to speak when you're implementing and integrating tough love and standing up for yourself with Spotted Skunk. And then we also have the 2 of Swords. It's finding peace. This is inner sanctum. This is going within. This is the eye behind the eye. That right now you might feel a little bit blind to the answers and a little bit like you want to defend your heart space here. And by spending this time, because do you see here how, so in the book it describes this as a blue rose and the swords crossing through the blue rose. And then you have this violet here that's also protected in the center. So you're really looking at, a way of kind of protecting your heart here. And that's completely understandable. That's a tender little organ, isn't it? And, with that heart space going within and looking, with the eye behind the eye and being open to that wisdom and guidance that's coming to you, because we talked about that earlier with Fresh Start. Remember that you were examining, you're taking a closer look. You're in touch with the cosmos, with the guidance that comes in for you, with the messages that you receive from life, from the divine, from source energy, all of that coming in to guide you and bring you this level of peace as you stand up for yourself and implement tough love. So can I just get a couple cards for tough love, please? Tell me why lavender is here. We'll grab it. Oh, the star, faith, embrace, the all. 2 ascended. So the truth and the all are holy cards in the Patch Tarot deck. They sit above all the other cards. And they are higher level consciousness. It's esoteric. It's being in touch with things beyond the 3-dimensional material world. And then you have the star here, which is bringing forward to you a great deal of faith. So, with this tough love, it could be multiple things, right? It could be the kind of tough love that results in endings, and it could be the kind of tough love that results in change, and it could be the kind of tough love that results in nothing, and then there's probably a million other ways in which it could manifest itself. But you're the creator of this, right? And we already know that you're the creator. And at the bottom of the deck, you're charging in with the Chariot. You're in motion. So you come out of your quietude, you're harnessing this power of the wizard, this power of creation with absolute and utter faith. What I love about the star in this deck is that faith is a vibrational frequency above hope. Hope implies that it's something outside of yourself that may or may not be attainable. Faith is the absolute belief that what you are creating belongs to you, that it's coming into your life, and that you are embracing that and opening yourself up to it by setting these boundaries with lavender and tough love. So that's really quite beautiful, Gemini. You have an amazing week ahead. These are big steps in whatever it is that you're creating for yourself. I need some space here. So let's pop over and take a look at the power of surrender cards to close out your reading and see what you're being guided to surrender in the week ahead. You have a beautiful week ahead, absolutely. Again, like it's hard to ever get through, even a day in life without something where you might need to stand up for yourself or have some tough love or boundaries. And so for the week ahead, like, even though that's there and even though you've got that 10 of swords, it's sitting under joy. And you're up leveling right now, Gemini. That's what you're doing. You're absolutely up leveling and keeping your thoughts high, keeping your feelings high. I would turn to music if you start to get low with whatever this 10 of swords energy was and this boundary energy. Whatever you can do to keep your vibes at a higher level, it makes it harder for these lower frequencies like this. They can't match your vibration, and eventually they just begin to dissolve out of your life. And it really takes no effort from you. This is actually quite an effortless experience when you can keep your thoughts high. Focus on this 9 of Cups. Focus on this happiness. You've created this for yourself. It's time for you to do what the all says and embrace the all and let it come to you. Your faith is absolutely being called for because beautiful, amazing things are coming in for you in the week ahead, Gemini, and probably in the coming weeks. Remember that this could be something that's in process, and this is just this week's look at it. So, power of surrender, please, in the week ahead for Gemini. Power of surrender. What's Gemini being asked to surrender in the week ahead, please? Surrender obsessive thinking. Interesting. That's that 9 of swords energy again. Hang on, I'll pick it up here in a second. The next one that fell is surrender to success. Yes. That's that wizard energy. That's that 6 of Cups here with your joy. That's that 9 of Cups here with your happiness. Wow. Surrender. You're going to have whatever it is you have to stand up for yourself. You're doing it successfully. All right, let's look at these. So, surrender obsessive thinking. If you're obsessing about a person or situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. So when you go into your inner sanctum with whatever this is that your heart space is guarded over, try not to obsessively think about the situation or the person, and rather, work towards making yourself available to your solutions and your answers. You never solve a problem at the level of the problem, that you have to move away from the problem and clear that mind space for new ideas to come forward. So if you are obsessively thinking about somebody, you're being called to surrender that in the week ahead or something. And by doing that, you then surrender to success. You are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. So the dominant energy here is, bar none, the energy of growth and illumination. You've got the Sun card, the 6 of Cups, the 9 of Cups. You've got the Truth and the All, which are, holy cards from the Ascended part of the Patch Tarot deck. Like, really, you've got the Chariot. You've got beautiful things happening. Whatever this is that's happening in the mind space, Even if you have to stand up for yourself, you don't have to continue thinking about it. You've got too much good happening here. And surrendering to success and not looking back at your previous roadblocks or difficulties, when you spend time and energy on that, it brings more roadblocks and difficulties. So clear that energy out of your field, Gemini. Let's just do the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Surrender fear. Let go of fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. Gemini, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and yet you might pick up the pace at certain points within the marathon. You've got this. The cards say you've got this. And the only thing that I think that could potentially get into your way is your mind. And whatever this is that's lingering in your energy, get it out because it doesn't belong there. You've got amazing good things coming in. You're in full manifestation mode. You're creating. The sun is here with happiness, joy. I mean, it doesn't get better than this, Gemini. I'm kind of jelly. I want to be a Gemini this week, please. Jemmy, thank you for stopping by. Have a beautiful, amazing week ahead because I already know you will. And I can't wait to see you next week. Have a good one. Bye, guys.